Welcome back to Healthcare Sucks. And it still keeps on sucking. That's the sad part. Is even with another from president, even with the next president, it's going to keep sucking. I can tell you. Have you noticed there's more nurse practitioners, yeah, they're quacks, than there's ever been. That's what happens when insurance companies come in and healthcare takes over your lives and tells you what to do, tells your doctors what to prescribe. You have all these inaccurate, amateur dum-dums dictating what we can do or can't do for medications and treatments. And then they throw up bricks and walls to where it takes so many references from so many different doctors to do this and do that. Remember the olden days when a doctor was a real doctor and could do more than one thing a visit? Now you're lucky if these little snot-nosed pissants can see you for one time and address one problem. I have to honestly say it's probably because their mentality, their brain, is like wee small. Again, wee small. They think they're so big and so knowledgeable. They ain't got a real brain between a dozen of them. So if you're not happy with healthcare, it's my opinion, fire them. And don't just say I'm going this or that. Say you're fired. I've done that to a few doctors. They actually almost wet themselves because people don't stand up and tell them, hey, you're fired, you know? You're not doing your job. So with that, you know, stand up. Take a little bit if you can. If you can't, there is some places that advocate, still not very many. I was an advocate and still am a little bit, but for half my life. For those who cannot help themselves. But, you know, you need to help a little too. Don't be afraid. Fire them. Move on to another doctor. There was a year, it took me about a dozen doctors to get to a decent doctor. So, we're with you. Pray to God, you know. If you have some other religious you think's real or works for you, pray to that thing or person or it or whatever the heck it is. You know, it's God says I have many mansions, and you know. However, there is one Jesus and one God Almighty. I personally stick to that belief. Doesn't mean you have to. You know, the more deeper we go, the more it comes out that there is something out there that's running everything. With that being said, real quick, I want to touch on Cern. It has come to my knowledge that there's actually a plant off of Chicago that's affiliated with Cern. I don't have the name in front of me, but we'll be posting that stuff later too. It's been around for a long time. With all the evil and bad things going on in Chicago, is it really surprising? And I guess they're putting together more rings out there. I watched a little thing about how Cern was actually transporting this big containment unit across the sea. And the gentleman had mentioned something like Jurassic Park. Well, I think more like Ghostbusters. Yeah, Ghostbusters. So you need to understand that with the neutrinos that they're blasting through the earth and other things that they're doing, this neutrino blasting by CERN, where it goes actually through the earth, not even in pipes anymore, and goes to another unit hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away. It's to my belief that not only the fairies but the demons are being picked up and pushed out the other end into these controlment boxes. Watch a little bit on CERN. One of my favorite authors is Anthony Patch. The guy's hella smart. Okay, he knows what the heck he's talking about. There's others out there too. Like to give a big shout out also to BP Earthwatch, one of the greats. The guy's not pulling your chain; he's just telling you how it is. So if you want to know what's really going on, check it out. I'll throw another name at you for... I'm not affiliated with none of these people. They're just good people. Marfugal News. He does live broadcasts. Check him out. Tune in sometime. Call it. You might learn something. You might actually... You could share your opinion. Everybody's equal on that show. And again, the time to stand up is today. Because healthcare sucks. Over and out.